How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf. Today, just like there's a bit of gameplay mission and a contest run. Of course, I'm taking my loaf. It makes them corners. I thought about it for a second. It was like, what am I thinking? I've got a loaf. Of course it will. So I'll just show you. It's pretty damn easy to just chuck in the sideboard bed. I only edited there because I clicked change vehicle and it jumped to my trophy CK. Goddamn thing does it every time. It does it with a Hummer in the cliffs. It's like, no, I don't want that one. Why do you always choose the one I don't want first? But yeah, pick it up, get it over here, and then when you lower it down, I was lowering the crane arm, but I'm pressing triangle, which is making the loaf's wheels drive forward. So when it goes down now, it's scooting itself forward. I could have dropped it now, but I was trying to scoot it forward a bit with the crane, and I was like, sod it. Let it go. It'll do the rest. Stick its seatbelt on, of course. The reason why, I'm taking a sideboard bed because I'm going to do that fallen antenna mission. Because I cocked it up the other day and I didn't even go with a trailer or anything. So it didn't even say that it was like I could get a container or anything. So I went back today to go and investigate it. Cheers to people who mentioned it in the comments. So that's what, obviously, why I went back tonight and had a look. I'll cut the road bit out, but it's just uneventful, really, just driving down a road. Getting to the off-roading. When you swerve around here, there's a big bump about here. That's why I slowed right down. It doesn't look like a lot there, but when you hit it, it's a lot meatier than it looks. That's what she said. And yeah, it's had me a few times. That's what she said again. Anyway, I'm sorry, but it's the middle of the night. It's my chance to talk bollocks. Even my cat likes it when I talk bollocks. So you need to learn English. You're very polite like that. I didn't have time to learn Catanese or whatever you speak, so you learn English for me, which is a good job, because in case you haven't noticed, I'm still kind of working on it myself. And now, well, I mean, he says hello, because I go, hello, and he runs down the stairs, he goes, row, row. So he knows. I mean, I've not quite got him saying, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious yet, but I'm working on it. But yeah, I can only speak English. I had French lessons at school, I just really didn't like them. The teacher was a bitch, to put it politely, and yeah, I mean, I got A's in maths and business studies and science and all that, but I just really didn't like French lessons. I remember I got detention with this as well, because she said oh yeah, you need to learn French. I was like, no, I don't. I live in England. And then she's like, oh, what if you ever go to France and you need to talk to them? I was like, well, they're all over there having English lessons, aren't they? And then yeah, she said, well, what if you try and have a conversation with somebody who doesn't speak English? It's like, why on earth would I try and have a conversation with someone who doesn't even speak the same language as me? And then I got a detention. Like, what? Because I'm right? Or what am I supposed to do? Learn every language on the planet? Some people you just can't have a conversation with. Different languages. See, America, they knew. They got in early on the English language. Look, the ghost wolf appeared on the road there, by the way. Which, yeah, is nice in the daytime. When it's about 3 in the morning and I'm on my own, I start looking over my shoulder like, fucking hell. I see the Exorcist girl behind me. I'm off. I was looking at the bloody loaf and I hit a tree. I do love me a bit of loaf action. Can't keep my eyes off it. Make sure it's nice and snug in the old sideboard bed. Anyway, if I ever go abroad, I'll do what any self-respecting English person does. I'll just shout the word louder in English and look at them like it's their fault they don't know. Well, that's what you do, innit? That's the plan. Don't worry, I've never been abroad to wind up the natives. I've been Blackpool, Skegness, Mablethorpe, all the good spots. It's where people from Monaco holiday, and yeah, good old can't beat a bit of English seaside. You see there when I travelled through the gate thing, the loaf went like a transparent loaf, so. It didn't really, not a problem. Well, to be honest, actually, it was kind of handy, only in this situation, because I'm going to need to get the loaf out of the sideboard. And I don't know, I almost think it might be faster just winching the loaf behind you than having it in the sideboard. And maybe it's because now the loaf is driving to some degree, so it's at least carrying some of its weight. Obviously, the roof rack does slow it down. Went to make the corner, cocked it up, and then that's not even the same thing, and then I hit another tree and I sprang the loaf around and it fell on its side, but you see, just reversing up, tap him over and he's all good, and we're off. Yeah, so like I say, we're near that fallen antenna mission now. Yeah, you can pick a container up from here. Like, it's a bit of an odd one. I thought getting concrete slabs from the quarry was a bit odd, but just randomly getting a container from the middle of nowhere, I think that tops it for now. But yeah, obviously this the old loaf, yeah, that I knew what I was going to come and do. You can see I'm low on fuel, which is right now. I put the roof rack fuel in it, and yeah, I knew I was going to come and do the antenna thing. I knew this thing would use about 200 litres, maybe a bit more, doing this mission, so yeah, I didn't need to bring a whole maintenance trailer. The other nice thing, by the way, just another reason to say bring a loaf rather than a big maintenance trailer, is once I'm done here, I can just recover back to Smithfield Dam, whereas if I had a maintenance trailer on me, I'd either have to dump it, which would now cost probably twice as much of it as I've just made on the mission, or I'd have to drive it all the way back to Smithville. So it's kind of cheaper in the long run. I mean, you see what I'm like, just for chucking trailers all over the place, so yeah, it's cheaper in the long run just to take this beast, and then I can recover the loaf as well. So grab myself a container. Now, like as you've seen, yeah, you just, once you've got a sideboard bed or whatever, something with you, yeah, it'll actually offer you the choice. So I was going along here, I've got to turn right up here, and the whole way now I was like, yeah, just go left around the telegraph pole. Last second, for some reason, I went for it. Yeah, I have no idea why. But you see, if I had a trailer now as well, the trailer would just be flipped and that's it. Detached trailer. Recover to Smithville. I mean, I have edited parts out, obviously, so you're probably talking a good 10 or 15 minutes to get back to here. Obviously, you can see what I was going to do with the loaf, but then I was thinking, oh, it'd be nice if I could try and put that container back in the Dolphin. And then, yeah, I had myself a thought. Loaf's got its thinking tyre on. And to be honest, well, you'll see, I think this was a pretty good effort, as close. Obviously, if I just winch it from back there, it's just going to tip the Dolphin. But I thought if I come round this way and kind of wedge myself up against the container, winch to the post, and it starts scraping up the hill for a bit, which is kind of not handy, because I could have done with the Dolphin being as low as possible compared to my winch point. But the other thing is, it's still going, but like I said about this winch tension, you see there where I keep letting the button off? I've noticed sometimes when you're holding the winch, these days, it never used to do this, it's like it's not building any tension, and then sometimes when you let off the winch, it snaps forward as if you just suddenly got given all your tension in one little hit. But that's what I did a couple of times, and as you can see, eventually, do you hear there where I let off the winch? I really shouldn't have. If I just winched the whole way up there, I reckon the momentum would have carried me enough. But because I stopped and now it just doesn't build tension like it used to, it's basically trying to lift me like right up in the air, and yeah, like the winch just hasn't got the guts for it at the minute. So I kind of knew this was a risk, but I thought I'll try switch to the Azov and try and winch to the post or something. Yeah, Dolphin rolled, container's gone, then the loaf tipped over. At this point it's like, oh no, but of course loaf's goddamn professional, starts first time every time. If it don't start, you ain't turning the key hard enough. And then look, I was going to pick a winch point, oh shit, Dolphin on the loose, go go go. Yeah, it's like a goddamn action film, like James Loaf. I mean, look at him, he's even got his little tuxedo on and everything. It's like the name's Loaf, James Loaf, breaking, not steered. Yeah, so we're back on the way. I just I changed like the time of day, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, I nipped back quickly and just grabbed another container. Like I say, I got close with the old loaf, but yeah, to be honest, when you seen like I was driving behind the Dolphin when the loaf was propped up, the container was propped up at the back, I possibly could have had another go, but it was about 6:30 odd in the morning, and yeah, I knew I had a lot to get through, so I was like, we'll leave it for today. That first attempt, I was close enough. I was happy that it kind of worked in my mind. By the way, just looking there was a Scout fuel trailer there, And I seen it, I acknowledged it, I just wanted to leave it because I was just... My plan originally was to set off with the dolphin and loaf with the roof rack, and yeah, I thought I could do it that way, like I'll make it, so... But I was just saying, like, a couple of reasons I mentioned that is, one, there's usually fuel somewhere that you can plan into your route, which is why fuel doesn't really bother me. Where, like, this drinks, well, this it's not mad for drinking fuel, it's just got a pretty small fuel tank. But the Navistar is insane for drinking fuel, really. That goes up to like 33, 34 litres a minute sometimes. And yeah, I just always plan fuel routes in. But the other reason I was saying it is, obviously, a lot of you guys, and it's good practice to do, I suppose, is recover all the trailers off the maps, even ones that are already there. But one trailer I definitely don't recover, and never did on any maps really, is the the fuel trailers. Because, yeah, a lot of them, like on Pedro Bay, they seem to have strategically placed a few. I think there's a couple of 3,700 litre, like, big semi-trailer fuel trailers on that map, and there's no fuel stations on there or anything, or trailer stores, so you can't just buy a trailer and keep refilling your fuel that way. Yeah, so like, I leave fuel trailers. I know, I mean, if you see my video, I'll leave everything scattered around everywhere, but I do actually purposely drop fuel trailers off in different strategic locations. When you seen where the Ghost Wolf appeared, there was a scout fuel trailer sat there, just because ages ago I was going to go to Island Lake, and I didn't have enough fuel. I had enough fuel to get there, but I knew, like, I hadn't explored it yet, and I didn't know what was or wasn't there. So yeah, I mean, trying to read that, I was like trying to write the plot for bloody Pulp Fiction 2, like squinting Tarantino. But whatever it says, some bollocks about completing a mission, I assume. Yeah, they need to make the writing bigger. Like, I can read Rusty Legacy and blah blah blah. Just to let you know, that's how damaged the loaf is. I didn't fix it up first or anything. There's all 300 points and 4 tyres. As you can see, it was taking damage as I was turning it behind me, but nothing's in the red. Still got about half a suspension, 3/4 of an engine, over half a fuel tank, gearbox is fine, tyres are fine. Yeah, so if the Dolphin was smashed up, I could fix that, or either or. The Dolphin only had about 16 litres left, which is obviously nothing for a truck really, but I took the 16 litres, stuck it in the loaf. That's like another quarter an hour in the loaf. So you can get all sorts done. I was having a look, I mean, that mountain looks a bit fucking rude to me, if you ask me, but I was like, god damn, I'm on my way. Hold my beer. And yeah, to be honest, that bit of the map isn't discovered. Like, it's still sort of in the dark, so I thought, well, while I'm here, I've got enough fuel on me. So even like that extra 16 litres I just grabbed was more than enough. I was now genuinely, like, I was half trying to drive with one hand, I was trying to sip my coffee and all sorts, but I don't know why I don't just, like, stop driving. I think especially when I'm going uphill, I'm just like, well, if I can just hold the accelerator for a second, and then I'm trying to reach my thumb over and steer, and yeah. One-handed rally special doesn't often go well, but it's worth a try. But as you can see, the loaf, I mean, goes. That's the thing, it can wiggle through trees. The Tatrin now, imagine trying to get the Tatrin up here. Not only would it be a bit awkward, like, not saying you wouldn't get it here, now would be a little bit awkward. I don't know, and I do think as well the loaf isn't as good as at getting up here with the roof rack on, because that's like top end weight. It's sort of almost making me want to wheelie earlier, so it's like, it's got no problem power wise getting up here, but what's happening is I keep lifting my weight off the front axle, and then I've only got the 2 rear tyres to grip, and then it's not enough. But as you can see, like, I put it in low, rarely use low, but yeah, give it a go, and it got up there. Like I say, I still do believe if I had the roof rack off, it'd do better, but it's still a pretty steep hill. See, the Tatrin might have just wheeled there and jumped up and down, I don't know, but because normally the steering will be off the ground by then, you can't necessarily be as precise. So anyway, I got to the sort of lip of this mountain, was having a look around. I was kind of checking out the edge of the mountain because I wanted to go up to the top bit, but the actual peak of it looked pretty jagged. I was like, well, I don't know about that. Like, yes, that looks like the place I want to go. Oh, fuck it, let's go, loaf. He knows what he's doing. He's a professional. So now you're probably thinking, oh, he's rolling. It's like, nah, Loaf, he just likes to, he thought it'd be best to go in reverse down this bit, and who am I to argue? He's done a rally driving course. See? Now he doesn't take any engine damage because he's going ass first. Like a professional. That's why, you see when I fling it off the cliffs and stuff, like, you land on your arse or your roof, and it doesn't take any damage, and then you just roll back to your wheels, like it's... I can go for hours without damaging it. Yeah, so he started driving up here. I was making my way, I was thinking, well now, that's definitely going to be a bit of a beat. There's no trees, nothing around. Did a bit of a wheelie. I reckon the roof rack again didn't help because it sort of helped me do a wheelie, but while I was trying to stick it back in auto, I rolled, and now I'm in the arse end of nowhere. So there's no wind. The engine wouldn't start anyway, but even if I had an autonomous winch, yeah, I was in the middle of nowhere, like there was no way it was getting back from that. Not that I didn't have any plans of them, that's why I just started heading up there, so... But yeah, that's a rare one where the old loaf tips and there's no way out. So lastly is basically a competition called Heavy Burden. It's on Smithfield Dam. And yeah, I'll show you a couple of attempts, I'll show you my best time, see if you guys can beat it. Obviously, that Timmy Gun guy will probably come along now and be like, yep, I've done it in 28 seconds. Well, I'll show you at the end my best time. This was my very first attempt, and I did it. I tried it with a dolphin. I just recovered from Island Lake. The problem is really when I was doing it with the Azov, and I only tried it once, is obviously to just try and, like, the Azov's pretty quick for getting there. That was my cock up. You notice though, it never takes engine damage, even if you smash flat out into a tree or a post. Just the engine and gearbox are practically impossible to damage unless you start drowning it, then you'll damage the engine. But yeah, this was the line I sort of I've not done this contest before, but I've gone back and forth through here quite a lot in the Dolphin before, with and without cargo. It's funny how they've made it 3 spare parts, which now rules out any side bed trucks, and that's basically what I was just saying, why I only had 1 go in the Azov, because now I could recover, but then I'll have to dump the trailer. So what I did, grabbed myself the twin stair, because that's like the only thing that can have 3 or more cargoes. I mean, look at it, threaded the needle on that like a glove, like another glove, 2-handed, needed 2 gloves. Yeah, it's the only thing that can hold like more than 2 without a trailer, so I wouldn't say this mission is as probably quick overall as getting 5,600 on the container contest in Drowned Lands, but it is pretty quick, it's pretty simple. You can recover to the Smithville garage, which is only down the road from the warehouse thing round the corner. It takes about, I looked at it like with the editing thing at the times, it takes about 40 to 50 seconds to drive from the garage back to grab 3 service spare parts and stuff. When in the field, make sure I don't destroy that farmer's hay. Don't want to get done for criminal damage. Have to mail him some new hay, or post bail as they say. Yeah, I tried cutting through the field, and I tried it 4 or 5 times. It's just not, like, the twin steer, it just doesn't quite follow all the way through on that field. The field is a bit boggy and crap, so in the long run I don't think it's worth it. Do you know what, when I came around here, I genuinely thought that tree was a bloody person stood there. See, it's that ghost wolf got me on edge. Thinking I'm going to turn around and the little girl from the Rings there or something. Yeah, that's what happened when you overcook it. It's quite a nice crash, I was pretty happy with that. See how happy I was. Yeah, clean the cargo up, because obviously I'm not an animal. Like, everywhere I go I clean up after myself. It's like, places I've been are practically nature reserves. They're that clean and litter free. Fuck you, tree. See, that's why I had the confidence to go for that tree, because I knew it had the triple tree seal of approval, and that's why you need to know these things. I mean, look at it, banged in a right good time. So came back, stick some cargo. I mean, what did I get then? About 190. I got 138 with the Azov Dolphin. I got 128 on my first go with this, and then I just got 119. Swing a hard right. There's the loaf. She's working on the street corners. She's got to put that food on the table. Look at it again. Ain't got time for that tree. I went for the tree. I had time to miss it, but I was like, no, I'm not even disrupting my steering angle. But again, I know the twin steer knows how to handle trees. I apologise, it glitched there. Like, basically, it was such a nice racing line. Like, you can't compute it in ones and zeros. The computer didn't know what to do. It's more than ones and zeros. It was like a superposition. It was a 1 and a 0 at the same time. It was quantum. Could not be computed. Did not follow the laws of relativity. Neither does the loaf. It follows the laws of loafativity, which means I can get away with all sorts. So in the end, I think this is the best line. Go wide on the corner, cut across the field, nail yourself another tree. I mean, look at it, my fastest time, and I nailed 2 trees. I'm having the time of my life. So yeah, there's a time for you to try and beat. As you'll see, I got 116. So yeah, good luck. No doubt you probably will. I only had about 8 goes. But anyway, that's about it for today. I hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.